So, don't be silly like me and forget that Monday was yesterday. You can put a squiggly line or X's all the way across your plan book for Monday. Right? And then you can fill in the rest of the week, which notice tomorrow there's no math class. Right? Because we're map testing, we're finishing up the map testing this week. There is no math class tomorrow. So you kind of get a chance to catch up this week on math. I'm guessing people don't have this because I haven't seen like any movement, but once we check our homework, then we can grab 1, 2, 4. Or if you get in here and you get your stuff done, then you can like go ahead and grab it and start working on it. But we need to check 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 should be out. Let's look at it.
One point two point. I don't have it. 6.23.
So 1, 2, 3 was assigned on Wednesday and Thursday of last week. So it was like 2 different days. So if you were gone, you might need it. But if you don't have 1, 2, 3, like we need to figure that out. And again, like plan book, you don't need the start slide up. You can see the board over there. So do we have 1, 2, 3? And then guys, your other homeworks that you got back can go in your binder, right? As you're getting 1, 2, 3 out, you can put your other homeworks that you got back in. Now, does this make sense? Because here's my concern. You didn't try it on your own. So rushing to get it done right now. My only concern is, does it make sense? Because if you didn't try it on your own, that's my concern. But there's nothing written down. Okay, so that's what I was asking. Do we know what we're doing, or did we avoid it? The date today, I think it's the 6th. I can't do access.
Is it still 8? Is it still?
No, my allergies are
What's
really
the date?
The 6th.
So
I have seasonal allergies.
So I will need to make more of 1, 2, 3. It's best if I send them to the office.
I can go get them.
9, 6, 22.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh my god.
Because then it will actually print two-sided.
That's fine.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you have lost 1, 2, 3, and you're gonna have like make yourself do it again. Because like guys, the fact that I have run out of them means they've been gotten, right? Like you've taken it. I made extras. So if I ran out, people have taken extras. Raise your hand if you need it. 1, 2, 3. How many people? Okay. I'm gonna print 4 because I doubt that this is the only ones. So if you'd like to take a walk to the office, otherwise I could do that later. But thank you, Ms. Martin. 1, 2, 3. Questions? Guys, if you're doing it right now, like that's gonna start to become an issue.
I know.
I'm so confused of why we're looking here. So we use these for our weeks. So Alex,
If you don't do your practice work, like,
listening when we get directions,
practice work, like,
we've been using the plan book. So have you not hit your big binder check yet with Miss Pettigrew?
I have, but I don't understand.
So this gets like filled in every day with what your questions. So for this week, because it's September, like the week of the 6th, and we're going to scribble out Monday. You put your classes across the top, and then your homework down straight through. So for math, because math is your first, right? Math right here. So the bigger thing that I'm frustrated about is that you're just sitting here acting like helpless without actually saying like I need help.
I do.
Right? You have to advocate. Scribble off Monday. So you don't fill in.
When's he coming?
So that what would
He's
you
not coming in the next.
What is tonight's homework for math?
Oh.
You got it.
She's coming. This. I just.
Yes. Yep, so the weird thing about the trapezoid that we'll get to on the back is it's kind of been rotated. So if we scroll down, there's multiple ways that you could adjust the probability. So there's not one right answer here. You could take marbles out, you could add marbles in. There are multiple ways to get here. I decided 4 blue, 40 total. But if we flip to the back now, that may have already been back, I'm not sure.
This is the back.
One, two, three. That's one. We need 1, 2, 3. So I'm wondering if you have misplaced for 1, 2, 3. I think it's hiding under your drawing. See why we don't put papers in pockets? So you got some work to do. You're behind. This is what we're checking. It's due today and it's not done. That's going to go in the map as a missing. So that's a problem. 1, 2, 2. That was due last week. So that's old missing. Questions? Addie? For which? No, I mean 10 over 20 just seems easier to me. But any number that's like a half of the other number, right? So you can do 50 and 100. So yeah, Addie was asking, did you have to do 10 and 20 here? No, anything where your probability reduces to a half. Yeah, because they don't tell me how many animals are in it. So, all right, scrolling down to 82 and 83. Questions here? So we just need to get like a lot of things just kind of taken care of. These should be in your math binder too. Do not need an apology. I just need us to like step up on that. Guys, I never really want apologies from you. I just, sometimes we just need a change in behavior. Are there questions? Guys, a lot of you didn't do this, which is concerning me that when we take our mastery, like our chapter mastery next week, that you won't know what you're doing, but that's okay. It's a learning experience. You'll realize if you didn't do your homework, you only hurt yourself. So especially down here, how can I get to 1,000,000 yards? That's where we talked about if I don't know what to multiply by, what's the opposite of multiplication? Anybody? Division. So we come over here, and guys, if you don't have work written out, you're going to get a check minus. Because I see all the people copying. If you are copying, you best be writing your work out. If you're just copying answers, that's going to be a check minus. So here's my work. If I took 1,000,000 divided by 550, that's 1,819 if I round. Did they?
not print.
Phoenix Office Minolta, right?
I checked all the printers just in case, but that one.
I mean, if we just need like 1 or 2, I can just send it to the family room right here. It'll just be one-sided, but that's fine. I don't want you running around the whole building. Sorry, they should be coming out that one now.
Alright, I'll go back.
So then that tells me what to multiply by. Or did you already raise your hand for you need 1, 2, 3? Or do you have a copy? Okay, can you get it out? Because we can be... Guys, it's okay if it's not done. Everyone look at me real quick. Look. Here's what you're still getting used to. And it should be a shift that Worthington as a whole is making, but Phoenix especially. The priority here is learning. It's not work completion. What we care about is, are you learning? So your work not being done is kind of a problem because it's a life skill of doing what you need to do. But what I care more about is, does it make sense when you write it down and you think through it? So like, yes, your homework not being done, that's kind of a problem. But if you are copying right now, if you didn't do this on your own, what I need you to do is be honest if it doesn't make sense. So if you don't have this done, it should be out, it should be in front of you, you should be thinking through it, because you should still be asking questions if you have questions. So 1,819, if I round up, is just enough. And then the ones that I am scared, if you don't know how to do this, it is on your mastery. It was on the mini mastery last week, and it is on your chapter mastery. Area of a trapezoid and area of a triangle. They both involve the 1/2. Trapezoid is obviously the more in-depth process, because what we had to realize here is that our bases are actually the left and right sides. These are your bases, while your height is actually here. That was the tricky part of that one. You have to have your work shown, or it doesn't count.
What makes up the height if it's going solid?
So a trapezoid, if we look at our math notes, always has bases that are parallel. Base doesn't mean bottom. We often use it for bottom, but base does not mean bottom, right? The base of the chair is now not the bottom, but it's still the base, right? Like the base of,
Oh my god.
hey, the wheels come off. Didn't know that. The base is still the base. It has two less wheels, but the base is still the
Was
base.
that a part of the script?
No, base does not mean bottom, okay? So bases are parallel. Make a note. If you didn't know that, write it down. That's how you get it in your brain. Grab a highlighter out of your bin, highlight the bases. Like, do something so you remember it better next time. This is why we're going over homework. It's not just for fun. This is the most fun.
You should let people tell you that.
Nobody tells me anything, Margot. I don't know if that... Actually, that's kind of true. I just stay over here in the corner of the building and just kind of do my own thing. Nobody really tells me anything. Except if I'm in the wrong... What?
Are you in charge of the bulletin board?
Yeah.
So people have to tell you things.
Well, if they want it on the... Being in charge of the bulletin boards is really nothing. I just need to get some decoration up there. I need to ask you guys for some help. Any questions? Perimeter is a bit easier, but still be careful you don't accidentally add something you shouldn't be adding. Perimeter is just the edges we have. But the height of a triangle sometimes is outside of the triangle. So the height they gave us here was outside the triangle. But the base, still just 9. Right? The base was 9, the height was 4. Questions?
What are
Alex.
the bases?
What's that?
What are the bases for this one?
For a triangle or trapezoid?
Triangle.
So the base of the triangle, you can actually make any side the base. What matters is that the height is going to end up perpendicular to the base. So the fact that they show us that this makes a right angle tells us we're using this as the base here. But if you pick this up and rotate it, you could get a different base and a different height. Right? Like we could just turn it differently and then we would be using different pieces.
And do we need 2 bases or just one?
No, in triangle, there's only ever one base.
Okay, I thought so.
Okay, so in triangle, base, we often kind of do turn it so the base is the bottom. It doesn't have to be that way, but it's kind of nicer if we make it that way. Lily?
Can we go back to the bear question?
So these, you don't have to have the same numbers. What matters is that we have equal amounts of bears and non-bears. So trying to be funny, I just made bears and bunnies. So if I had 10 and 10, I end up with 10 over 20.
No, I get that part.
Okay.
What about B?
So then, and I kind of used my situation. So if you return to check on the bin, found out that there are 4 teddy bears, 12 non-bears, so I told bunnies or whatever, what could you add or remove from the bin to return the probability? We got to return it back to 1/2. So right here, what they tell us is how many total animals are in the bin now. We have 16 total, right? But here's the issue. When I add 2 bears, you with me? When I add 2 bears, I add 2 bears. But I also add to the total. So the total now goes up to 14. That should be 18. Lily, is that what you were trying to point out? Is that this is actually a mistake, probably?
No, I did 8 bears plus 4.
I think that should be, then the total is 18, because the total here is 16.
I did 8 plus 4.
Yeah, so really with B, like, I think I kind of got a mistake here. I'm not checking right, wrong for B, because there's so many ways that you could do this. You could take some out, add some in, like, there's a lot of different ways to do that. It's just kind of starting to grapple with some of those complicated probability situations. Of like, well, if I add theirs, I'm adding to the total, and that's where I made my mistake, actually. Because I think my brain thought it was 12 total, where it's really 16 total to start, so then things start changing. See, don't worry about like right, wrong on B. I think I goofed this up a little bit, but it's just trying to push you to think about these things. Mario? That probably, so then you'd have 10 total bears, and you subtracted 2 of the non-bears. Yeah, and then you'd have 10 and 10. Yeah, that would work. Yeah. All right, so if that's done, unless there's more questions, if that's done, turn it in. If it's not, finish it later, turn it in later. All right. So then 1, 2, 4 is in the back. Oh, I think I have a couple announcements. Oh, we got to talk about your mastery. So I need to come back here to not move too quickly. Yes. Is that considered what? Yes. So the bases are on the left and right side, actually, but they got to be parallel with each other. Yeah. Not until we're all caught up. So talk to me later, okay? I got to see that you're all caught up. There's no sense in working ahead if we got to catch up from behind.
So now what are we taking out?
So, let's all take a moment to reset. Hey. Let's all take a moment to reset. Except for the homework you just turned in. The only homework that should be out on your desk is 1, 2, 4, which you just got. Everything else, homework-wise, should be put away in order. Guys, I didn't get to all the binder checks last week. I need to finish those. Your homeworks need to be in order. Hey, all of you like asking each other questions, please stop. I got your answers right here. I got your answers right here. The mini mastery I just gave you back that I'm scared some of you put away. You maybe weren't. Were you here on Friday? Ooh. The mini mastery that I just gave you back. Get this out, look at it. Because that is not a practice. This. Here's the deal. You don't have a grade. Your grade will always be up here at like the top right. That's on purpose. A lot of you didn't get your test finished. Test, mastery, whatever you want to call it. A lot of you didn't get this finished. So if I were to give you a grade, it would just be NF for not finished. But I just left it blank. If your test is finished, I got a lot of people not looking at me, which means you're not listening. If your test is finished, give yourself a grade and turn it back in. And what I mean is, do you think you earned a mastery? Or do you think you are progressing? If we get a progressing on assessments. We correct on a separate piece of graph paper. We never correct on this test, like on this paper. Never ever. We do not change our answers. We don't erase anything. We always do rework on a separate piece of paper. On a separate piece of paper is where you do your revisions. You don't write on this paper. I know I'm repeating myself because people are missing it. So since Alex just got back, I'll say it again. Or actually, Gabe, can you tell Alex what we just said?
We don't do our revisions on the same assessment paper. We do it on a different paper.
If you get back revisions that you need to do, it's on a separate piece of paper. We do not change what we wrote on a test. Okay? Because mistakes are good, right? Mistakes are actually a good thing. They let us learn. If you weren't here on Friday and need one of these, raise your hand. Like you don't have one of these. It's not in front of you right now. You didn't get it back. You weren't here on Friday. So put your name on that right now, please. Everyone else, I should see it on your desk. Were you here on Friday? So what? But I asked for this to be out, and you're just ignoring what I asked. You're making things harder for yourself. Were you here on Friday or no? There's that. Put your name on it right now for me, please. Were we here on Friday? Alright, so make sure to pull this out. Pull it out, because that's your practice section. Alright, so then, guys, I'll leave it up to you, but this, when it goes in your binder, needs to be in a different section from homework, because you will lose it. Like, in the future, I realized I should put this on colored paper. Like, I realized I should put it on, like, blue or yellow or something, but I forgot. So, if I was you, would put it in the very front of your binder. In the very front of your binder, because you need to turn it back in. No matter what, you need to turn it back in. Well, I didn't mean like in the, I meant like clip it in the front of your binder. Like in front of your math notes, in front of everything else, because you need to turn this back in, like soon, in the next couple days. And that's up to you. You guys have started talking about mastery and connections, right? Like, what does mastery mean? And like, if we disagree with each other, like, we'll talk about that. Most of the time, you guys are harder on yourselves than I am. Like, I would think something's a master if you just made like one mistake and you give yourself a progressing. But it's because like you want to go fix that, right? So everybody has one of these now. Because I'll be straight up and tell you the people I didn't have one from when I graded this weekend. Because guys, my grade book is pretty impressive with how much I have. So Raphael, you weren't here. Alex wasn't here. Everybody else, you should have this that you had worked on it. Okay, so I got Raphael and Alex. Got you guys copies. Sweet. So clip that in your binder. My suggestion is in the very front. And now we're looking at 1, 2, 4. Okay, that should be the only thing on your desk right now. 1, 2, 4. If it's done and you gave yourself a grade, you can turn it back in. Oh, sweet. So not everybody got it done. So mastery grade. So whether you think it's a mastery or a progressing. So do you think you need to like do some revisions and like fix something, or do you think you're mastered? Like, do you think you showed comprehension of the material? Well, that's a lovely shot of my desk. So what's the first, isn't 86 the first one on your paper?
Yep.
All right, so we've got all sorts of different probability situations. And so I should see 1, 2, 4 on everybody's desk. It's got the little grids on the top right. Yeah. So, give me your eyes. Your mastery grade is not in math yet. Okay? I have all of my information written down of exactly the feedback I gave you. You need to get that back to me. Really, I'll probably put your grades in math tomorrow, just because it's a math test and I've got time. It's fine if it's a progressive. And there's no not finished in math. I can't mark not finished in math. So progressing means you're still working, right? So progressing means you're still working. That's a fine grade. Then you do what you got to do, and it changes to mastery. Okay? So as you guys are getting into math, don't freak out when you get a check minus or a progressing. That's fine. Everyone will have check minuses and progressings this year. Every single person. Even Anna Sarkozy, 8th grader. You guys all need to meet Anna. But she was always like, no, I want to do the best the first time. Check minus is unacceptable. And she had to get over that. You're going to get a check minus. You're going to get a progressing. It's because we have high expectations. All right, so today we are talking very briefly, because I got 10 minutes left, about turning fractions into percents. So we are going to go ahead and look at this. That is right on your paper. So chat with your teammate about what this shows us, and does it make sense? So read, right? Read. This is on your paper. Read it. Chat with your teammate. I mean, if you want to go back to Raphael, you could. If you want someone to talk to. Does it make sense? What? Or I forget exactly what it says. You might have to answer the question. And then say, does it make sense? What's up?
Probability.
Probability.
It says probability. No, it says probability.
We've got our name on here.
Flipping heads.
Guys, if your name's not on your paper, let's start with that. Let's get our name
Put
on
your
our
name on
paper.
the paper.
Talk ideas.
Put your name on yours. I already did. Put miso soup.
Alright, do we need any help back here? I'm gonna smooth this out just a tiny bit. Kind of nice. So this is taking care of something squishy. Like it's behind the practice pad, and there's practice board right there. So you don't find I might sound and then we're looking at this paper right now. Okay, so don't leave this one up till later when we try to catch up. I'm gonna put this down right.
He wants to rewrite 17 as a percent. So rewrite. We need to do that. Okay, so basically
7
times 5
20ths.
because
I know. 20 times 5.
So Damar's being asked to turn 7 20ths into a percent. This is not you guys.
Oh,
wrong class.
Yep.
and we all make mistakes.
Tell me about it. Alright, so Alex, tell me what we know about percents as Damar starts trying to convert this to a percent.
Well, obviously it stays in a fraction. But
Okay, it can stay a fraction. Say more.
and then
What does percent really actually mean?
it, I don't know.
You can always pass.
I'll pass.
Nate, what does percent actually mean? Keegan, what does percent actually mean? Bella left us. Jana, what does percent actually mean?
Like,
We spent like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
No, we
that's why I'm
didn't.
not just- All right, anybody, what's percent
It
mean?
means like 1 for every 100. Yeah.
For every 100. Guys, I'm straight up asking you that question on your mastery. Write this down. It's
I
a
have it
question
somewhere.
on your mastery.
Yeah, I have it right
If
here.
you don't know this, you will be progressing, which is fine. But I'm trying to give you the answers right now. I'd rather you be mastered. Percent means for every... Guys, this is one of those things that growing up in like my rural town, no one ever broke words apart for me. Cent means 100. Century. Cents in a dollar. Centennial. Cent means 100. Centipede. Centigram.
Centimeter.
Yeah. So.
Centipedes are
Oh,
disgusting.
don't get mad at that. Yo, so up here, Donovan's not here. Destiny. So what do we want to do with our 7/20ths now that we remembered percent means for every 100?
I'm not gonna pass it to you. I know the answer to this. So you just have to times it by 5, so then you get like 100.
Now be careful saying the J word. That's almost as bad as the E word. But yeah, Destiny said what we do is we multiply by 5.
What's the J word?
Just. She said you just have to. So we do the same on top. What's 7 times 5? 35. And guys, please go ahead and on your paper, write out. We can then write 35. I'm trying to cover up that and make it not look like a decimal point. And then the percent sign. So yes, 35 over 100 is also 35%, but we can write it using the percent sign. I was about to say, I'm waiting for you. So work with your partner. How could you do the same thing in part B? I believe they asked you about 3/10. No, sorry, C. So try it with 3/10, right? Turn 3/10 into a percent.
Here.
Mr. Hudson, are we allowed to use the homework on our test?
Depends
I
if
mean,
that
our
one.
mastery.
Oh, to do revisions and
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah, absolutely. But the chapter mastery, you don't know yet if it's going to be open notes or like open homework
Okay, so
or open anything.
Oh, so basically this time has times 10. 30.
So I have to show my work because we have to show our steps. Can't be lazy.
Yeah, and showing your work on this is really for you, right? Because this paper is for you.
3/10 to 30.
Gabe, how can I turn 3/10 into a percent?
You can just multiply by 10. And then it's gonna
Ooh,
be
you said the J word.
Is J was
All
bad?
right, bring it back. Bring it back. I don't like doing the clappy thing, by the way. I try to avoid that in class, but when I do it, I make it like fun and rhythmic. So Gabe said, go ahead and say it again.
you either multiply 10 by 10, you get 100. And since you're multiplying 10 by 10, you have to multiply 3 by 10. That would be 30.
Guys, this is the work you should be showing on your paper to get in these proportion habits. This is the work you should show it with the arrows and showing the times 10. I should probably write it up here also. Try 88 on your paper, with your teammates. Try 88. It is on your paper.
I think I won. Said 9.
Sorry, the hole punch almost like cut through where it's at 88.
I see it.
So for each of them, we need percentage. One of them is already done for you.
Hold on, we're supposed to write this work down here.
What I did it here.
Wait, Mr. Hudson.
The percent for every
I'll
100?
No,
just,
it's like for the other, like the
I'll just
for the
throw an arrow
Darmar.
there.
We actually wrote here.
I just did a shoulder.
Oh, I can't take that out. You accidentally wrote what? Oh, that's fine. As long as it's up here somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
I wasn't erasing.
Oh yeah.
Did I turn my alarms off? I know. My 5-minute alarm didn't go off.
Okay.
All right. Raphael, if I want to turn 12/25 into a percent, can you tell me what to do? So remember, I'm more process focused than I am answer. Don't just shout out an answer. We gotta do something. Can you tell me what to do? Totally fine. Miss, can you tell me what to do?
So basically, since 4 times 25 is 100, we need to also multiply 4 by 12, which would be 48.
So our goal here is always turn the denominator into 100, which we can do in this case by doing times 4. So that is the work you should have written on your paper showing the times 4, which then becomes 48. So this would become 48%. 48. Let's see if unplugging and replugging fixes that.
I don't get auto.
So compare your autumn answers, since I just heard a couple people saying they don't get it. Alright, sorry, I gotta erase my work because I kind of don't have enough space out here. So I left more space on your papers. Ivan, help me out. What would be the first fraction that we write for autumn? How many heads? Yeah, 18 over 40. What do we need to change in this fraction? Yeah, into? Yeah, so we need to multiply to get to 100. Do you know what that is? What we can multiply by? Is times 2 enough?
No.
Is times 3 enough?
No.
It's too much.
So you have to go to times 2.
You have to divide by 2.
Or do you have to use decimals?
Times 2.5 will get us there, which is really like 2.5, right? What's 18 times 2?
36.
What's half of 18? Put those together, 45. So this is also times 2.5, and that becomes 45%. Wait, and Kumar, what's Kumar need to do?
Absolutely
Nothing. He's already in percent.
Well, so Maria won.
Who did best?
Maria.
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 All right, friends, flip that paper in your binder.
Maria won.
Flip that paper in your binder,
Maria
and have a wonderful day.
I wrote Maria.
You have a fantastic day.
You have an amazing day.
Oh, you have a superb day.
How you see me?
Best day. You have a wonderful day.
The best day ever.
You have the